It's a big job just getting by with 9 kids and a wife. But I've been a working man dang near all my life. Keep on working, long as my 2 hands are fit to use. I'll drink my beer at a tavern, sing a little bit of these working man blues. I keep my nose on the grindstone, I work hard every day. Might get a little tired on the weekend. After I draw my pay, go back working. Come Monday morning, I'm right back with the crew. I drink a little beer that evening, sing a little bit of these working man blues. Sometimes I think about leaving, do a little bumming around.
I remember being about 8 or 9 years old and barbecuing and grilling in the backyard, hanging out and having music on this gigantic stereo, and then they'd have records, Ray Price and Merle Haggard, Buck Owens, all different easy listening type, stacked about 3 inches high, and it was just hours filled with that kind of music, and really realizing that I really liked that music. I didn't know if it was just because I was hearing it all the time or what, but I really enjoyed listening to it. So Merle Haggard is my hero. He's exactly what I consider to be the essence of country music. There's several others like Buck Owens and Ray Price, Lefty Frizzell, all those older guys. I call them the troubadours of country music, and there's also the troubadettes like Patsy Cline. But Merle Haggard was the main guy that I followed throughout his whole career. I really enjoyed listening to his music, and everything he does is in my key, so he's holds a special place in my heart. I picked up a guitar for the first time, I believe, when I was 21 years old. I started picking around on one song, and I remember it to this day. There was a song by George Strait called The Chair. Finally got it to the point where it was acceptable to me. Nowadays it wouldn't be acceptable, but I finally learned that darn song, and still not a very good guitarist. I'm just a rhythm guitarist, to be sure, but I do enjoy playing guitar, and it's a big part of what the band does. Wasn't sure if I could actually sing, because there's a big difference between singing and actually just being able to carry a tune, but you know, I'm very good at listening to people who do things well and emulating what those people do, and I kind of learned to sing, to truly sing, by listening to Merle Haggard and some of the other old country and western singers, and that's how I did it.
Well, I said, friend, don't take her, she's all I got. Please don't take her love away from me. I'm begging you, friend.
The first efforts I made at being in a band was looking on Craigslist, trying to find bands that were looking for a singer, and that's how I started the whole thing. I submitted a couple demos to some different bands, and I was getting ready to go to work with one of these bands, and then I just thought to myself, it hit me like a ton of bricks, you know, I'm gonna have to play a lot of music that I don't really like if I sing with this band. Why don't I try to do it myself? It was a long road, super long road, getting from finding the first guy to help me get the band together, putting a band together, and then starting to learn songs. It's a very, very long road, at least 6 months I would guess. But yeah, that's how the whole thing started, and we've come a long way from those days. Yeah. In general, the music we play, and I call it paying tribute to, we're a tribute band of sorts. Not to any particular group, but to a particular style of music, and we just play true classic country and western music, and we pay attention to what was called the Bakersfield sound. The Bakersfield sound was country music that was infused with rockabilly, and came out of Bakersfield in the late 50s and 60s, and kind of spearheaded by Merle and Buck and Tommy Collins, Billy Mize, and Wynn Stewart, and those guys were the Bakersfield sound. But it's something that we pay great attention to and make sure that we put a lot of that into our gigs. It's very, very difficult to come up with a group of guys who can get together and enjoy each other's company, and really rarely have any disagreements really at all about anything. You know, it's a lot of fun. We really enjoy it, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Well, there's Greg, my bassist. He's a really good friend. He is super organized. I'm thankful that I have him. He's the one who gets us all our gigs. He's the one that takes care of all the paperwork. He's a fantastic country and western bass player, the guy that I find when I'm playing. If I can find him and what he's doing, I can find what I need to do. So Eric, I just think he's hyperactive, says funny stuff, keeps us in stitches. He's a really funny guy, fantastic drummer. I haven't found a cadence he can't do, and he's just a kick to be around. And then Larry, besides the fact that he's unbelievable on the steel guitar, he's really wonderful at that, and he's very, very humorous. He's got a dry sense of humor. He keeps me laughing, and he's just a really, really nice man. As far as Bill goes, I would just say it wasn't for him, I'm not sure we'd be as good as we are. I think he has a lot of good ideas, super valuable guy, and super talented on the telly too. Man, he's unbelievable.
I guess a good word to describe Will would be versatile. He's the most recent addition to the SOBs, and he helps us to complete the Bakersfield sound portion of what it is we're trying to do, and we're just really, really happy to have Will in the band.
Runway 4, flight 209.
The moment that Lacey J. Dalton wanted us to be the band that opens for her whenever she's in this area, that's by far it. It's been a blessing, and she is just such a sweet lady. She's been so good to us, good to me. Her and her partner in crime, her guitarist, Dale Poney, they're just really, really good people. They've been awesome to us, and I'm very, very proud that we are affiliated with them. We're just going to keep on doing what we do. Greg's got us lined up with gigs that we think, I would say 80% of them are going to repeat year after year, so that takes a lot of the load off of Greg. I think we're going to try to keep our attention on the music festivals, the wineries, just kind of keep going down that road. We do have our honky tonks that we play, like the Valencia Club and the Opera House. We will keep doing those things. I always thought when I first started this that if I ever got to play the Valencia Club, man, that was going to be that was the pinnacle, you know, and it is, because the Valencia Club's a blast to play. We have a great relationship with them. It's just I started realizing that at 53, getting home at 3:30 in the morning after a gig, playing 4 hours that's rough. You know, that's a younger guy's game, but we do love doing that too. So we're gonna keep our options open to everything, but we're gonna try to keep, more down the music festival route, I think. Well, it's the Crystal Palace for us. I mean, in a realistic sense, it's the Crystal Palace. If I can get that done, I would be, ecstatic. I mean, you can play the Ryman Auditorium, but that's not realistic. That's not happening. So we're just looking to play that mecca of the Crystal Palace. We're really going to work to try to get that done. Man, if I could get that done, that would be a beat-all event, that's for sure. I thought I would still be doing this at this point, but I didn't think we'd be as quote-unquote successful as we are. I think we've gotten ourselves to a point where we can play what we want to play. We kind of set our own schedule and find really good gigs because we have a fan base, and venues know that when we play there, we're going to bring people with us. So that's the golden egg for bands like ours. If you don't have that, it gets harder to find gigs. And believe me, we struggled with that when we first started out. We were just, going and playing and hoping people showed up, but we've come a long way in that department. I've been working on original music for a long time, and it's weird about originals is people say whatever you put together is good, and I think it's probably true, but when you're gonna play it for people, man, it's got to be right. And I really, really am tough on myself to put together songs that make sense, that have a good melody, and don't, and the lyrically make sense. It's very difficult to do. Seems easy, and the best songs that I've written have come very easily. I wrote one song that we play every gig called Too Much Smoke. It came within 10 minutes. I had the whole song written out, and it just makes sense, and it was a very simple and danceable song. Since then, it's been a little bit more of a struggle, but I'm still working on it. I put a lot of time into it, and we'll have more coming. We got a couple on the block right now that will be coming out soon. Yep. we got a lot of good stuff coming up. So I mean, if you want to find out where Robby James and the SOBs are playing, we're on Facebook, and we'd love to see you. Come on up and say hi.